Everyone, Evan from the Trade Risk Wednesday, December 10th, here with a market recap video. So we'll start off with the SPY like we usually do here, and today definitely reversed yesterday's action. So things are starting to heat up a little bit here. You can see we did snap ever since we basically broke the upper level support here right around this 207 and change level back on Monday. Yesterday we had a big gap down, but the bulls saved us. Today we opened up just below where we closed yesterday, and we basically faded all day long. So we took out yesterday's lows, we closed on the lows, and we basically are, still in the range here of this 203.50 support that I've had drawn on here for a very long time, and that was basically this little range here that we carved out for about a week back in November, the beginning of November, and you can see we're basically right there right now. And below here we do have a nice little air pocket. I believe that if we do see follow through below today's lows, things could definitely speed up, and you could see some of this selling start to pick up some steam. So let's take a look at some of the other indices here. The Qs basically performed right in line here with the SPY. With the S&P, we closed, didn't take out yesterday's lows, so a little bit of perhaps outperformance there on a percentage basis, though the same as the SPY. And it's a very similar camp here, although you can still see 102.80. There's this level here that I've had drawn on. All these levels I've had on for quite a while, and you still have areas to keep, hopefully for the bulls anyway, to keep this market afloat. So still not a tremendous amount of damage by any means. You can see this yellow line is the 21 EMA that I keep on there, and we are below it now, first close below it in a very long time, since back here, back at the end of October. So, it's definitely going to get interesting here. The volatility you can see has picked up by the size of those candles. Let's take a look at the IWM. Look at yesterday's candle here. It was just a massive engulfing from bottom to top of this range, and then today we almost gave it all right back. So the volatility is definitely picked up here, but for the IWM, I guess it's just still, you're just revving the engine in neutral here. You're chopping through this chop box range here and waiting for a resolve. So things are just getting pent up. I'm looking for a resolve 115. I would probably get short this market below here, and a close on the other side of things above 118.50, and I'd get long the market. I don't really have an opinion beyond what the market's telling me, but I do like the base that it's carving out here, and it is getting some action pent up here for a directional move. So I have that on watch. Now let's look at some of the other metals markets. Gold. So far these lows, that we talked about a little while ago, still a messy way, but it is holding so far. I mean, the bulls here are just continuing to sort of grind this thing higher with gaps and everything else. So gold looks, definitely looks like it's starting to stabilize here. Some prior resistance around 119. Still not really actionable for me, but it does look good. Silver, same exact camp, grinding higher. It's meeting some prior resistance right now back in October, so look for it to just to come to terms with that, and maybe it'll set up for a cleaner trade. Oil USO, this one's still just getting crushed, and this is putting a lot of pressure. I mean, take a look at the XLE. I mean, so, the energy sector ETF here, and you can see, I mean, this is really where a ton of the pressure is coming from in the markets. Now, granted, the NASDAQ and the high betas have sold off too, but a lot of these names are just really what's keeping us down here. Let's look at a weekly chart. This sector here is basically at levels back in early 2013, essentially. Really, it's 2012 levels. So, definitely fallen pretty hard here, pretty fast. So, there'll probably be your violent squeezes, short squeezes when you're in this type of environment, this type of market, this bear market here in XLE. But the trend is definitely down, lower highs and lower lows. So it's basically an avoid. You got to be nimble there if you're going to play in that sector. Let's move into some names here. Apple. So yesterday, a nice big, large range bar as we pierced down below 110. And we gave some of it back today. I mean, this is a pretty forceful bar here by the bulls yesterday, given of how low we got. So, We gave up about half of it today. Perhaps this is a bottom that we can maybe shoot against or still carve up against. Let's see if it can go sideways here, develop a base, maybe give us a more actionable trade. Google just, similar camp here. Nice big bar yesterday. Didn't take out the lows. It's still holding in here. So, let's see if it can go, develop anything from there. Amazon, same exact camp. It did break down below this critical mattress of resistance here between 320 332. So to me, it's still on the naughty list here going into Christmas. But it really needs to get back above this resistance zone for me to get more optimistic about Amazon. But if you're nimble here, there's certainly some trades available. Netflix, all these high beta is pretty much the same exact thing. They didn't take out the lows like the SPY did, like some of the energy names did. So the high betas, did outperform maybe in that respect today. Just the fact that we didn't take out a lot of previous lows from yesterday. So Netflix, look to see if all of these levels here can sort of carve sideways and then maybe hold. Way too early to say that in any of these names. Tesla, same exact thing here. Nice bounce yesterday, gave half of it, 3/4 of it back today. Let's see if it can. Let's see if it can move on top of that. Facebook, a late day fade in Facebook. It was holding up pretty well, and then it looks like someone really wanted out at the end of the close of the day here. But still held up relatively well for most of its peers in the sector. So, still just not too actionable for me, but a lot of green. You can see here that it does seem, if it can hold above 76 for sure, that it may want to start continuing to lift here. Twitter, same camp here. This one actually outperformed. Was outperforming really well in the morning, making some nice headway here from yesterday's follow through on yesterday's candle, but it did end up giving it up, closed on the lows, but still holding on to much of the gains from yesterday. Baba, this one, pretty much the same exact camp there. It had a nice little bar. It had a nice bar yesterday, basically retesting this breakout level back in November. Let's see if it can work something off of it. This downtrend is still in control here, so we get a nice little channel flag developing here, which overall is really healthy. Look at this nice impulse leg we had from 83 to 120. It's a 40-point move. So if we give it back half of it here and then start to lift, I mean that's bullish. That's bullish price action. So it's not too much to be concerned of if you look at the big picture. GoPro, this one is snapping some support here. So this is sort of actionable, although it's just been sliding so much that it's tough to just jump on board here. But definitely below the $65 level, like we saw today, yesterday's lows, you could see the selling pressure kind of come in here. So this GoPro is definitely in trouble. Yes, tomorrow it would really need to just reclaim this as like a little fake breakdown bar here. But below 65, it definitely has room to just waterfall lower. So that one would concern me a bit. It need to reclaim 65 to catch up a little bit there. Some other names that just have really been hit now. Win charted this a couple weeks ago. The sideways base that it was in, and then the breakdown, and you can see it just really picking up some steam today. Broke it below even some of the lows here that we had back at the end of 2013. This flag. So, this one's in trouble, but super beaten up, tough to really do anything with it. NQ, this was a momentum name here. Today was looked good at the beginning of the day. It started to put in this nice candle all the way up here, but you can see the massive fade from today. Not too good there. Bear trend still intact. Lake, this one has reportings after the bell. At the time of this recording, I don't know what's happening, so we'll have to see. But tried to make a jump for it today, got faded. Everything I'm sure will be up to earnings. JCPenney, so here's one that did finally fill that gap yesterday, and sorry I got a lot of lines here that I was playing around with. Did fill that gap at $6, and then just had a inside day essentially, basically heading back to the lows. So let's see if $6 can firm up. Still got this supply right above us, and then you have this massive supply above us. So JCPenney's sort of in a tough spot here. So it's tough to be involved in that. Some of the names I charted some of these yesterday. VOLC. This one's still looking good here. It's holding up red day today, but if it can get back above the 1180 or so, this one could start to move here. Nice base that it's been in for a couple of months. Not too much supply above. Big gap right here. So perhaps that one can get going. CERS. This one did make some continuation today. Did get faded, but this one's had a hell of a base in here basically for the majority of 2014, and it's starting to try and lift out of it now. So see if that can continue. A little bit of a tail today, but still looks pretty good. FireEye, here's another one, and this had a late day fade when the market really just sort of rolled over with everything else, but this was holding green and holding up right around this $30 level for some time. So this $30 level is an interesting level. Right in here, this is sort of the rollover level where I think a lot of bears are looking to get to reshort this, or for longs to just dump out of it under here. So let's just see. It's making an effort for sure to try and hold on to these levels. The past couple of days, this has been outperforming the market pretty nicely. So it's definitely caught my eye. It's not actionable enough for me here. I think really above 3150, I mean really 34 would start to break it out of this larger pattern, but I'd keep it on watch. It is trying to outperform a little bit. Here's another one to have on watch. This one was green today, Nimble Storage here, and this has a pretty nice pattern. So I think above 2850, 29 could start to ignite out of this 5-6 months long base that it's been in. So this one looks pretty good. Did have some outperformance today. SYF, little financial here. This one, recent IPO. It was green today as well. A little bit of a tail, faded at the end of the day, but still looks pretty good. Restoration Hardware, this one's still hanging pretty strong here. It's trying to lift out of this little miniature sort of rounded bottom here. So, I think above 87, above $88 will get you above the bulk of supply here and could really start to look good. But definitely it's been firmed here as the market's pulled back the past couple of days. And then finally, Big Blue, this one close to breaking down here after this big gap down at the end of October. So, it'll be interesting to see how this one resolves, but perhaps it still needs more time to chop around. But I think basically below today's lows could get you another little short momentum play in IBM. So keep that on watch. That's all I have for today. Good luck trading out there for the rest of the week. Definitely some volatility picking up, but if you're in the right stocks, I was in with 3 longs today, 2 of them still green. Wasn't a bad day if you're in the right stocks. If you're looking for those stocks that are breaking out, outperforming, you're not going to get hit as bad, but definitely a time to take notice when the market's in this sort of I don't even want to say a correction state, but when it's pulling back. So good luck out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.